Today we woke up bright and early because we had a half-day tour, and these were the places we were going to go to.
Percent of the population, the family name is Kim. If you call me the Kim, if there's a Korean, they will say just call me the Melvin or the Mel as my English. After the Gyeongbokgung Palace, inside the Gyeongbokgung Palace, 10 o'clock, we have a changing of the Royal Guard. So 15 minutes, we are watching the changing of the Royal Guard. All the soldiers, the men, where the
So this tour, we booked it on the Klook app as well, and they also told us that there's going to be transportation. We were given a place to meet, but I was so pleasantly surprised when the evening before the tour, I also got a WhatsApp message from them, reminding me about the tour, reminding me of where to meet, and giving me directions to the place if I did not know the place. I felt like that service was like really A+. And our tour guide, which you saw earlier, Melvin, he was also first class service, like 5 stars all around. First up was the Gyeongbokgung Palace.
But we cannot go in, they block. Only special day they open. Some of the building open, some of the building they block to keep it. And then this one, Sojubang, is a royal cruising.
He was such a wealth of information in all these places that we went to. I don't know why I didn't mic him up now that I think about it. Anyways, as someone who has seen the Gyeongbokgung Palace in like many a YouTube video, BTS even performed here, seeing it in real life was something else. This place is beautiful with the rich history, the architecture. It is so gorgeous here. I hope I can remember half the things Melvin told us. Okay, this building is where they used to prepare food for the king and the queens. He mentioned something about the fact that if you look into that building, they had like over 100 pots.
Also, you can see the artificial waterway. This water from the mountain behind. 70% our land covered with the mountain. It's like a natural portrait in Seoul. You can see the building in here. This one for the accommodation for the foreign ambassador from China and Japan. They need a few days, have to stay in Korea. Let them stay in this building.
Something he told us when we were at the kitchen building was about the culture, I would call it, of making kimchi and how every family has their different way of making it. He talked about how they used to make it in the olden days as opposed to now that every household has a kimchi fridge.
Like this way, joined together, much more stronger than using by the days. Because of the summertime, we are not painted and hard to do a lot. So only the crown prince stay in the palace. Other prince, when they became 10, 11 years, better far away from the palace.
There he was mentioning how when the young princes, they reach like 10 and 11 years old, it's best for them to move out of this main palace because of all the, jealousy, the rivalry and all that. So in my mind, I was like, so the K-dramas are actually right. There's a whole lot of infighting in these royal houses, They
can read, they can write down. But other people, they don't know. So that's why the first king of the last Joseon dynasty, the great King Sejong, where does fishes live? In the water. Water releases from the fire. We lost many times by the fire. That's why every corner of the village, we put the head of the fishes. On the top, you see the small fishes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is the guardian father.
So these buildings and the roofs are not just buildings. He was trying to explain that there are symbols on every rooftop and they represent something. This part was so cool to me. I wish I had mic'd this guy, honestly, because I can't even do it justice. He gave us a lot of information.
The dragon, when they got tired, sit down the top of the roof, get to relax. But this one is a king. King is a dragon. How many the sun in the sky? Only one. We never put the too taller and bigger. We can keep cooler the flow from the timber. This one, the autumn and winter time. We call it the Cheonchujeon. Another building over there.
One very important fact that I could tell from everything he told us that when they were building these things, everything was tailored to the king and his safety. First of all, there's a lot of gravel on the floor. If you notice when we were walking, the reason behind that is so that he can alert the king, the security, if someone sneaks into the palace. Second, he mentioned the fact that there are trees now in the palace, but in the old days, there didn't used to be no trees because people could hide in trees and want to harm the king. Then you had the fact that the bed chamber that the king sleeps, first of all, he has to sleep on the ground because they strip the room of anything that can be used as a weapon. This is the throne room. There were so many people here. I was struggling to get a video. And then this is the main courtyard. This is the one that we always see in like K-dramas. This was really, really cool to see, honestly. I'd actually wanted to rent a hanbok and do this tour, but because of the fact that we needed to meet with the group in a specific place, I didn't really know how to go about it. But next time, I'll definitely look into it. And then it was time for the changing of guards ceremony.
Recreated based on the historical records and literature of the time. To enjoy this ceremony, please stand behind the standing line.
이어 삼엄의 순서로 진행되었습니다. 먼저 취탄의 연주와 교대 수문군이 입장하는 절차에
First, there will be drum beats to signal the entrance of the gate guards and the military band.
各位游客，守门将交接仪式。
According to the military signal and the commander's order.
接下来，守门。
That one was for the K-drama lovers. So this entire ceremony, I felt it was really cool because all those prompts, they said it in Japanese, they said it in English, and they said it in Korean. I thought that was really accommodating of them. Besides, this place draws like a lot of visitors. I think I read that in 2023, it drew like 300,000 tourists. So, I mean, why wouldn't they do it like that? By the way, there's usually an entrance fee. I think about $7 on some days, and holidays it's free. But we did not pay because it was part of our tour package. After the changing of guard ceremony, it was time to move to the next place, which was the Bukchon Hanok village.
After you, if you want to go for water, coffee, you come to our meeting point. If you won't follow me, just...
He also gave us a disclaimer, and he told us, if you know that you have high blood, whatever, you cannot climb hills. When we get there, wait by the convenience store. Do not follow us because people always complain. So now he gives people the disclaimer, and boy, oh boy, was he right. The hills in this place, I'm not even going to open any of the clips because it was just me heaving. Oh my God. It was embarrassing, but then again, everybody was heaving as well. This part of the village is actually residential, so there was literally someone standing there and telling tourists to, not make noises, it's quiet time. So we just walked quietly with our deep breathing up the hill. From the top of this hill, you can actually see like the rooftop of the Blue House.
So that's why the presidential area over there, we cannot build up. If you build up people of the building, we cannot make money. So that's what we can keep as a traditional architecture.
That's a traditional tea house, by the way, still functioning. So what he was telling us was that because this area is so close to the Blue House, no one is allowed to build anything above, I think, about a 2-story building. No one wants you being high up in the sky looking above the Blue House and all that. This is the Blue House that we're passing when we're moving to the next location, by the way. Like, not the main blue house, like the outer buildings of the blue house. That's what he said. Anyways, back to the Bukchon Hanok village. He also told us that some parts have people living in them like full-time. Other parts they rent out like Airbnbs. I found that to be very interesting. I would actually love to rent one time and just have a night stay, because it's like a traditional Korean house. The next place we went to was the Bukchon Palace. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. It's a tourist attraction that still has like a traditional building, but when you go up, you can see what he calls the old Seoul and the new Seoul, which is the Gangnam area where the houses are expensive, you know, all that good stuff.
Sold out for private, for the condominium and office there. 117 to 123, there is a viewpoint of the Lotte Tower. And then you can see all in here. Now how big is the Seoul? North to the south, 27 kilometers. East to the west.
This spot was honestly so beautiful, just looking out and seeing the whole city laid out before you. Then we moved to an official Korean government facility where they produce ginseng and all products related to ginseng.
All of this one, 6 years old, the ginseng root. This one is always under the soil. We have a stump and the leaf and flowers. 1 year old is very small with the one leaf. 2 years old, a little bit bigger and 2 leaves. 6 years old, one stump with a 6 leaf. When you see the Korean ginseng leaves, looks like
stories we heard about ginseng. Even before we got here, Melvin was telling us stories. Now, this was the ground floor. By the time we entered the elevator, no more filming was allowed because they do not want you revealing their secrets to the world. So we could not take no pictures, no videos. And then we moved to our final spot for the day, which was the Gwangjang market. I'm just going to go ahead and say here, I didn't spend as much time as I would like in this market because there was so much, aside from the street food, other things you could buy. But by now, Duke was tired. Then the spaces were like very tight, so we really couldn't push a stroller through, so I didn't really do much. I have a short video on everything I ate here because I still had to eat some food. So make sure you check that out. I think I'm going to post it after this one. I haven't been to that many places in the world that have like these open air, you know, street markets and all this. But from the 3 that I saw in Korea, if this is what is in store for me by the time I finally make my money and I start my traveling full time, then I am in for a treat because these markets are so dynamic. I do not even know how to explain it. They are so freaking cool. But yeah, that was our cultural day in South Korea. Leave a comment below and let me know which place interested you the most. Also, make sure you do the needful regardless of which platform you are going to be watching this on, okay? Make sure you subscribe, all right? I'm really pushing to get monetization on my platforms, and I'm not ashamed to say that every little bit you do helps me a lot. So thank you very much. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.